Mm-hmm.
Hello, I am Miriam, co-founder and COO of Keto Chow.
I'm Chris, also co-founder, president, and technical guy behind Keto Chow. If you're brand new to Keto Chow, it's a nutritionally complete meal designed to make doing keto easy. We also have some electrolyte supplements that are amazing for everyday use and for keeping the dreaded keto flu away.
Be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel and hit the little bell icon for daily updates on all our Keto Chow happenings. These live streams help us be accountable and stay on track. Thanks so much for joining us on our keto journey.
Yeah. So we got Betsy here and JCB. Debbie is on as well. So is Laureen, and Susan Snowflake says good morning, Keto Chow.
Hi guys.
Beth is here. Dorothy says good morning from a chilly, rainy Portland, Oregon. Not to be confused with the other Portland, Oregon, where it's sunny.
Yeah, or the beach where it's windy.
They have beaches at near Portland, in Oregon. How about that? Jennifer says, good morning, all. Mary says, good morning, everyone. I'm leaving in the morning to spend 2 weeks with my brother in Sarasota, Florida.
Nice.
Ordered a box of Keto Chow to deliver there, hoping he'll be interested, and I can leave the leftovers there.
That's so nice. Thank you.
Sherry says, good morning. Lori's on, so is Linda from a cold Calgary, Alberta.
Yeah.
Again, not to be confused with the warm Calgary, which I don't think actually exists. I've been to Calgary.
Have you?
And Edmonton, yeah.
Oh.
When I was in kindergarten.
Oh, I'm sure you remember a lot about it.
I slipped and fell in the terminal moraine at Glacier National Park.
Oh, maybe you shouldn't have done that.
And my mom had to take me and warm me up.
Oh.
Don't fall in all the mud that's at the bottom of the glacier.
Yeah, what the heck? Why are you in the mud?
Well, because I slipped. Julie says, good morning, Lynette's on from the super cool Keto Chow storefront.
Yeah.
Teresa says, good morning, all. TJ is here from Denver, Colorado. Susan says, good morning. Jane is on, so it's Easy Zells. And Sandra says, howdy from Texas.
Howdy, howdy, howdy.
I actually say howdy. I've said this multiple times, so if you've heard it before, that's okay. I lived in South America for a while, and just like how here, everyone knows how to say uno, dos, tres, buenos dias, things like that. The little kids in Chile will say, hello, mister, what's your name? 1, 2, 3. I don't know why. It always sounds like they have a Chinese accent.
That's weird.
But that's how they sound. That's exactly how they sound. But they could sing Backstreet Boys songs with no accent.
That's weird.
Because Backstreet Boys were popular at the time.
Everybody said you looked like Nick.
Like Nick Carter, that's right, because I have blonde hair. And so when I would see someone who clearly was from North America, or I guess Europe, I would say, howdy. And they'd be like, whoa. And it just stuck. So
he likes to say
I do like saying howdy. Red Wine says, not working today, getting my hours back. Good morning from Concord, North Carolina.
Hey, take a nice rest.
Sarah says, it's sunny in Kentucky, but chilly. Jill says, good morning. It's sunny here, but okay, so the beautiful scene behind us is what it looks like after it just snowed.
Yeah.
This is from a couple weeks ago. Right now, it hasn't snowed for a while, and we have a high pressure zone that has set up over top of the valley.
Yeah.
And you get what's called a temperature inversion, where it's colder in the valley and warmer up in the mountain area.
Yeah.
And so it traps everything inside of the valley. Even before pioneers, settlers came and settled in the valley, it was always full of smoke during the winter.
Yeah, so
they called it the Smoky Valley. Yeah.
So it's funny that you bring that up. I actually wanted to talk about that again today. When I was driving to work today, I always go down, there's a spot in the river bottoms, and I go down and there's no trees or houses.
Yeah.
And you can just see this really beautiful view of the mountains that are behind us, right?
Well, sometimes you can.
But today, it looked like fog. Because of all the smoke in the valley that's not
smog.
That smog is what it is. And I'm like, where is my mountain? Well, I am missing something today. Like, I cannot see the beautiful mountain, and really everything was so smoggy I couldn't see it at all. And I thought, I'm not going to let that wreck my day. I was thinking about this because I actually took some cool pictures on the airplane when we were going to and from Florida. When we left here, I took some pictures of the mountains at the very top of looking over, because you can never see the mountains from the top like that unless you're in an airplane. And so I took a picture that showed only mountains, and they were all covered in snow, and it was so beautiful. It was just like, it was beautiful. It was a sea of mountains, right? And you just don't see that very often. So I took that picture, and then I also took a picture of nothing, like just water. And
Okay.
I took a picture of a sunset. I took, I don't know, maybe 5 or 6 pictures. And it was interesting to me how they felt so different, like such contrast, you know, like, oh, that water is completely different from that mountain. You know, I was able to still
waters
see
and
it.
mountains are different?
Yeah.
Okay.
But I think the way like I framed in, like there was nothing else in the picture except for the mountains or except for the water or except for the clouds. Like, and so it was even more contrasting than normal. And I thought about, you know, our lives and our days and, you know, our moods. I'm thinking about moods a lot. But I thought about, you know, on our keto journey, are we stuck looking at one view? Or are we maybe stuck seeing only the smog when we know right over the hill, right through it, there's this beautiful view to be seen? And I know, you know, with depression and stuff, you can't just shut off and make yourself feel happy and feel good.
Have you tried not being diabetic?
You know, be good. So I completely understand that that's a different story, but sometimes you have to make a choice to be like, okay, I can't maybe see the end right now, but I can make choices to try to have a good attitude today, to try to make sure I eat really well today, to be kind to myself today, because if you are happy and feeling, not happy necessarily, but I'm just saying, if you're feeling like you're doing a good job, you're gonna be more successful. And sometimes you have to kind of tell yourself, okay, I gotta look beyond the smog. I gotta not let that affect me or not let that bring me down today, because today I am killing it. I'm winning, I'm doing great, and I can conquer the world. And not every day you do feel like that. And I know that there's way smoggier days than normal, but sometimes you gotta, like, you know, pull up your big girl pants and say, hey, smog, you're not getting me down today. I'm gonna be fine. I can get through this time, and I can be successful.
Okay.
So that's what I was thinking about as I was driving this morning. So thanks for bringing that up.
Okay. Well, Jill says good morning. Tara's on in that chilly 36-degree northeast Florida.
Yeah.
Tanya is here, so is Blue Dove. Already finished my coffee and salted caramel. Paula says, we're warming up here in Florida after a cold start to the day. Hello from New Smyrna Beach.
Oh, cool.
Judith is on, so is Glenda. Chris says, good morning from Kentucky. Sarah says, I think everyone sings without an accent. Well, except for country western, which they, and here's the funny thing, traditional singing is sung with a British accent.
So it's funny because when we were in choirs and stuff in high school, they would teach us how to like round the vowels out, and you deliberately have to say it different so that it sounds better from the viewer. Because we'd like cut off our R's, or like make the S's like, and so you'd have to like learn to cut off just right. So it's not necessarily, but I can
totally
still
hear my choir teacher saying hallelujah.
Yeah, yar. Don't say hallelujah.
Chrissy says, good morning. I had Irish cream for breakfast and made Keto Chow tomato with Italian sausage and fire roasted tomatoes.
Oh, that sounds
Makes the best
good.
soup for my lunch. Love my crock pot.
How do you even feel like cooking right now? Like, I'm so proud of you, Christy. You're amazing.
That's great. Kendra says, good morning. I just ordered the Essential Starter Kit last night during the live stream, so I can finally try Keto Chow. I can't wait.
Oh,
Welcome.
Kendra, I'm so glad. And you came back today, so thank you.
Yeah.
I'm glad you're here.
Joanne says, wishing everybody a wonderful Wednesday.
Yeah.
Let's see.
You too.
Lisa says, good morning from chilly Oklahoma. Temps are plunging, but no snow or ice.
Oh, man.
And Judy Kohlenheim. Dang it, I always, Keto for the Soul.
I think she goes by Judith.
Yeah, Judith. You're right. I think you're right.
Yeah.
Anyway, she's here.
Hi, Judith.
Shauna says, good morning, Chris and Miriam. Dorothy says, salted caramel Keto Chow just finished also, but coffee continues through the morning. Becca's on from frozen Southeast Michigan.
Ooh.
Tanya says, I found myself saying ahoy yesterday.
Ahoy. Like, yes.
I knew a guy
That's
who
so awesome.
he
Thank you for
lived
sharing that with me.
he lived in the Philippines for a while, and he would always just say ahoy hoy.
Oh, ahoy, ahoy?
Yeah, I think that actually might be a greeting that they
really?
use in the. Well, based on the way he used it, and I've heard other people say that, but
That's
ahoy
funny.
is
Epic.
Yeah.
Girl, you win today.
Then he
You win
says, good morning
today.
from Lake Cushman, Washington. Great customer service by Jen.
Nice. Oh,
Awesome.
thank you. Yeah,
TJ
Jen's
said the
amazing.
cowboy hat. Dennis said, howdy, Chris Bear.
Howdy,
Becca
howdy,
says, I'm
howdy.
feeling much better today, eating my gingerbread Keto Chow mug cake and coffee with Keto Chow daily minerals. It's a very
Nice.
Keto Chow day.
Yeah.
Julie says, I don't miss that inversion junk. It's awful. This
Yeah.
morning, I was like, why do I have so much junk in my throat?
And I
And I
said,
think
it's
it's the
probably because of
inversion.
the air. Because I have junk in my throat too. And that's another thing with the, C word, like every single tiny little thing, you're like, oh
Yeah,
no,
it's
I'm
like,
sick. No,
I
actually
coughed
there's
once.
just an inversion.
No, it's... Rhonda says, morning, Bears and Chow fam. Happy hump day. I added 1 tablespoon of egg white protein to my 18-ounce coffee
Nice.
with CT... What's that? CT... Keto
Connecticut.
Chow. With Connecticut Keto Chow. Chocolate toffee, and it works. You have to
Right.
blend it really good or you'll have tiny particles, frothy and
Oh,
delicious.
okay. Well, that's good. That's good to know. Thank you for
Sean is on from an eerily foggy, but I read froggy, Napa, California.
Froggy Napa,
Red Wine says, I don't want to sound funny, but for once I'm watching you guys on my TV, so you're a lot bigger than on my phone. I just noticed you both have cool, beautiful eyes.
Oh, thank you. Yeah. We have the same color eyes.
Hello.
We have one kid that has a different color eyes than us, and it is Sam, and they are green.
I have not ever, I thought he had blue eyes.
Nope.
Apparently not.
Well, they're like hazel.
He probably gets it from my mom.
He does. Yeah.
Everyone who has green eyes in my parents' family,
Is
and there's 3 of
left-handed?
them, are left-handed. They're sinister.
Sam's not left-handed.
No, he is not left-handed.
All of my family has blue eyes, and
Okay.
my dad has dark hair and blue eyes.
Okay.
So it's kind of fun.
Sarah says, in Cherokee, the Great Smoky Mountains translate to the place of blue smoke.
Oh yeah, totally.
There you go. Dennis says, very good morning, Lynette. Betsy says, I'm so glad I got my daily minerals. Coffee just isn't the same without it. Question. I don't eat vegetables, so I take the magnesium. Does that make sense? Yeah, that works great.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Go for it. That's a good thing. Alan says, the power of positivity. Don't let the
Right.
smog get you down.
Right.
Debbie says, I just pulled into a meeting running long, so I'll have to listen later.
Okay. Have a good day.
Giselle says, I just started my sample pack and I'm loving it.
Nice.
Robin says, good morning from Taylorsville.
Good morning.
Hey.
You're right
Hello,
down the
Taylorsville.
street. You could see the smog out your window.
My parents' house is just, it's a half a block from Taylorsville
Yeah.
on the West Jordan side.
I was living in Taylorsville when we met.
That's true. We went on our first date and I got the wrong change and didn't notice because I was too Twitter-pated with Miriam.
Yeah, that was awesome.
What did I give him, like a 20 and I got back like $2?
You got like a 5, and I'm all, they still need to give you a 10, and you're like,
Oh, yeah,
you gave
okay.
me the wrong change.
Betsy says, happiness is the fog, joy is what we hang on to. Maybe. Visual Keto says it's -8 on our feels like temp today. Maitreya is here, glad to see everyone. Kimberly says, I got a late start to my morning training hike, so I'm still out there with the great blue herons, deer, and alligators.
Wow, you be careful. But
Do
I'm glad
the
you get to go
herons
hiking.
eat the deer?
That's so awesome.
Anyway, Maitreya is having a Keto Chow creamy for dinner. Good old chocolate. Hey, there you go. Can't go wrong with that.
Yeah.
Mary says, I remember one time I took off on a plane on a gloomy, cloudy day. We broke through the clouds. I was surprised to see the sun was shining brightly. It gave me great perspective to see when things seem dark.
That's so great, Mary Jo. Thank you. That's exactly what I'm thinking. Like, I know the mountain's there. I know it's there.
Yep. Maureen says, when you make pudding with the scrambled eggs, what other ingredients do you use? So Maria actually just posted, I think she posted on Instagram. It's the same thing as Maria's egg pudding recipe, but instead of boiling the eggs and doing hard-boiled eggs and then running them through the blender, you just crack all the eggs into a pan and scramble them.
Yeah, and it's really not a lot
That's
of
it.
other ingredients. It's like cocoa powder. I know she
It's-
calls for cinnamon.
And
Does it have
coconut
sweetener?
milk,
Oh yeah, coconut
coconut
milk.
cream rather.
Yeah, coconut cream. And
And
you could
some
use
allulose.
heavy cream. Chris
Oh,
does
she
that
uses stevia.
often, and she does use like the stevia glycerite,
Yep.
which we have
We
that
just
too.
we just follow her. We follow Maria's recipe, except we scramble the eggs, which she now recommends, or she adds as an option.
yeah.
And I don't put in the cinnamon because I think it tastes gross.
And I do, and I think it tastes
It
good.
chafes my throat.
And some people have used Keto Chow to put in instead
Yes,
of
that's
the
true.
cocoa powder, so that's kind of fun.
That's how Joe does it. Any flavor of Keto Chow instead of the cocoa powder. Maya says, good morning, Chowlings. Hoofnet says, good morning, Keto Chow hounds. Ear hustling while working. Miriam, I also try to see new views.
Yes.
New views.
Da, 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 da,
Shauna says extreme close-up. That's right. Dennis says, I have lead choir. I would buy a more pristine vowel sound from Hallelujah by illuminating the Y, creating ooh, ah.
Yeah. Totally makes sense.
Rhea says, I just got home from walking dogs. Hope everyone has a blessed day.
That's so nice. To
Betsy says, my eyes change color between brown and hazel.
Ooh, mood eyes.
Dorothy says, I haven't tried the Daily Minerals yet, but I'm using the electrolytes in my coffee along with collagen and, of course, heavy whipping cream. That's a good way into it.
Yeah, that's great.
And Rhonda says, does anyone add the electrolyte drops to their coffee? Yeah, a lot of people do.
A lot of people do.
And Shauna says, yeah, Radical Geek likes to use electrolyte drops in tea or broth. A lot of people will report that adding the salt will cut the bitterness of coffee.
Oh, yeah.
So
I do add it to sometimes like my diet sodas and stuff, which Chris is going to be helping me quit those diet sodas anyway because we just got a soda stream.
Yeah, so Joe and Rachel last night on their video where they're talking about the Keto Chow giveaway they're doing, he detailed the soda stream setup that he had, which he had been talking about doing that, and I said, hey Joe, you should go down this rabbit hole, and it's getting a 5-pound canister of CO2 and an adapter. So he went ahead and did all the research, and so I just copied him.
Well, and you have wanted a soda stream for a long time.
I've been thinking about it for
Probably
about 12 years.
Years and years.
But I've never devoted the time and energy to it. But I got the Fizzy One Touch, which was about $100. But the one that I got one at Walmart, and I, just to test it out, screwed in the thing, and it was venting.
It was like psh, all over, and my kids are like, "What the heck?"
Turns out there's a black O-ring that's supposed to be in there that was missing from a newly opened SodaStream box.
Oops.
So I took it back, got a new one, and the new one worked just fine.
So last night everybody was having soda at 9:30 at night.
Yep.
But it was really fun.
Yeah, and we were just using, we got some of the SodaStream flavor stuff, but I think we're more probably just going to be using some of the like
the little squirty flavors.
Yeah.
And that makes me super happy because I like plain soda water.
Okay.
So I'm super happy about
You can
that.
also add lemon to it.
Yeah. And daily minerals.
And daily minerals.
And drops.
Which Joe says that he's been putting, I think he said 12 or 13 drops.
15 drops
of the daily minerals
time
in each
anyway.
one.
Yeah.
Let's see. Teresa says it's so much easier with the scrambled eggs. The big thing with making the egg pudding using scrambled eggs instead of using hard-boiled eggs, which I say that just for Shauna's sake, by the way, is that you can make a batch and then make a batch and then make a batch, and you don't have to boil all these eggs and then peel them. So you only have to clean the pan once. It's way easier, in my opinion.
Or you could just make a batch.
You can, which I also still think cleaning the pan is easier, takes me less time than peeling the eggs. So, and it doesn't smell like sulfur when you first make them. With the ones where you peel the eggs, it tends to smell a bit sulfurous, in my experience, before you put it into the fridge. And it stays that way for like an hour as they cool off in the fridge. But then when you take them out the next morning, it doesn't smell like that. Anyway, Maureen says, awesome, thanks. Becca says, if I'm using the daily minerals, do I also need the electrolytes? So the daily minerals are meant to be a good base. If you're doing 3 meals of Keto Chow, you actually don't need the daily minerals at all. The daily minerals, it just provides potassium, magnesium, copper, selenium. Molybdenum, yep. The electrolytes is more of a, if you feel like you have a headache, which I have one right now,
Here you go.
then you can take
Can I put this in your mouth?
No.
Come on.
Nope.
I'll give you $5.
No, you won't.
$10.
Nope. Then you can use as however much of that as you want. And you just put it into whatever you're going to drink. The dropper one, the new instructions say mix 1 to 5 droppers of the electrolytes.
I'll give you $20.
No, you won't. You don't have a $20 bill.
I will go to the bank and get it.
No, you won't. Maya says I use Perfect Keto electrolytes solely to encourage myself to drink more water.
Okay.
That's a good way to do it. I like when we're out and about, like when we go to like an amusement park, I brought one of these and we went through 2 of these over the 3 days that we were at Disneyland.
Oh, yeah. I just put it right in my mouth because I'm not afraid.
Okay, whatever. Kay says when I ended my 7-day fast, I used both daily minerals and electrolytes in the bone broth. It worked well.
Nice.
And the daily minerals do have, there's copper in it.
Yeah.
And so it does have, it has a little bit of a, I licked a penny
Yeah, kind of does.
If you add lemon to it, that completely goes away, by the way. So if you don't like the flavor, adding lemon to it helps a lot.
I actually really like the flavor of the Daily Minerals just in water. But like you were saying yesterday, like you have to kind of get used to the flavor and get to the point where your body wants it. So.
Kendra says, I love the banana version of the protein pudding. Omit the cocoa and cinnamon and add banana flavor.
Yeah,
There you go.
that's a great idea.
Floyd says, are all essential minerals in Keto Chow? If you have to have Keto Chow today, you don't need the essential minerals today.
Yeah.
So that's one of the good points is that, and it says that on the, well, it should say that. It didn't yesterday when I looked. On the Daily Minerals page, there's a post that talks about how electrolytes are important and how the daily minerals fit in. And if you are doing 3 meals of Keto Chow a day, all of the minerals that you need are in Keto Chow. So you wouldn't need the daily minerals. But most people are using Keto Chow once or twice a day. And so using the daily minerals to make sure they get their stuff is a good way to do it.
Okay.
Kristen says, I love my soda stream. It got me to cut my diet soda addiction.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. It'll help me.
Betsy says, same amount of Keto Chow as cocoa. Well, for the egg pudding, so I use a whole serving of Keto Chow instead of the 1/4 cup of cocoa powder that it calls for.
Yeah.
Matreya says, coffee won't be bitter if you use a lower temperature of water to brew.
Okay, cool.
Or if you don't drink coffee, it won't be bitter at all.
Yeah, you won't even taste it.
Abigail says, I love my soda stream.
Nice.
Carol says, good morning. Thanks so much for the apple pie. I'm enjoying some warm with butter.
Yes, that sounds amazing.
Liz says, my dad had brown eyes as a kid, and then they started to change to pure green in adulthood. My daughter's eyes were gray at birth and now turned hazel. A lot of babies' eyes change color.
It's so crazy. Our kids all had like these dark, dark eyes, and then they're like, 2 months in, they're like, oh, I'm color now.
Janice says, yeah, I put Redmond salt in my coffee every cup. I love my soda stream. Mine is from Walmart.
Yes, that's awesome.
Yeah, and I just went and got mine from Walmart. Matreya says, I use a whole serving of Keto Chow in the egg pudding. Paula says, I really enjoy my soda stream. Kristen says, plus you don't have to buy the soda stream branded stuff. You can buy the water enhancers, squeezy balls, yep. And now you have fancy seltzer.
Right.
Yeah, and I got some of the Da Vinci sugar-free syrups as well. I ordered a couple that we were out of, like the raspberry and the lime. So those can be used as well.
Cool, cool.
Matreya says, everyone in my family has brown eyes except one brother and my 19-year-old. They both have blue hazel green mood eyes.
That's
mood
cool.
eyes.
Mood eyes.
Abigail says, careful with the squeeze bottles. Add in the sink as I have had them overflow in the bottles. Now, I did.
Oh, I could see that.
I did find out yesterday. I'm like, wait, are you supposed to add the flavor first and then carbonate it? And it's like, no. Please don't do that. You always want to carbonate the water with nothing else in it, not even electrolytes. You add that all after.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it tends to foam.
And we'll probably do a video with the soda stream eventually because I'm actually excited about this. Chris is very kind to me, and he's going to buy an ugly bottle of whatever that stuff
5 pound CO2 canister.
CO2.
I'm actually going to buy 2.
So we're going to upgrade the cabinet.
We're going to designate the cabinet.
And then do all this organization, which I love. And then we'll make it all look nice, and then it'll only have a hose that'll come out, and it'll be totally hiding behind the soda stream.
Love drilling holes in my cabinets.
Yeah.
Speaking of cabinets, oh my gosh. One of the kids called and said, hey, so the doorbell rang and Max ran through the cabinet that's over by the TV. Like, it's a hickory
broken
cabinet. Like, it's shattered into 3 pieces.
Oh, he popped it off the hinges?
No, he broke it.
He broke it in half.
He ran through it.
With his giant man legs.
So I'm going to have to see if I can somehow, I'm going to have to get a giant clamp.
Why don't we just take it to the cabinet shop and have them make us a new one?
I'm going to try clamping it first. I think it'll work, but
it might be fine.
Yeah, Mike says, I have an older version of the soda stream, but I've not used it in a long time. Ryan says, I just added the drops and it changed the coffee for the better. Who knew? Did 3 drops as Sarah advised. Is it the salt? I think it is. Matreya says, I use 10 large eggs when she does the protein. Yeah, Sarah says, I love my soda stream.
Everybody has soda
Shauna says, gee, thanks, Chris. Matt says, I like to add some Relight to my soda water. That's a good way to do it, too. Teresa says, yep, the scrambled eggs are so easy. Maitreya says, lick the penny. Ew. Dorothy says, I need to try the egg pudding, and I think I'll try the scrambled egg ones. Yeah, it's so much easier. Let's see.
it both ways.
Becca says, if I'm only eating Keto Chow each day, does that also give complete protein and amino acids? So it does provide complete protein, but it may not provide the amount of protein that you need. So you'd be getting around 80 grams of protein a day, which may be enough, but may not be enough.
Okay.
So on our website, there's a macro calculator that you can use to figure out how much protein you should be having. And the thing about protein is like a minimum. This is a goal that you want to get to.
Yeah, you need to get that.
Whereas carbs are a limit. You don't want to go beyond that.
Mm-hmm.
And the amount of fat that you add, hey, you just add enough for satiety.
It's a lever.
Yep, it's a lever. So make sure you're getting enough protein. And if you need more protein, one of the easiest ways to do it is eat a can of salmon or eat a can of...
Tuna fish.
Why were you asking me about giant cans of tuna fish today?
I like tuna fish.
Okay.
Well, we have 8 people in our family.
Yeah, we do.
Right? You know how many cans of tuna fish I have to open to make a tuna salad? Like 12.
Yeah, so I found some at Walmart the other day that were like this big, but they're the same size as the big cans of chicken.
Yeah.
So, but I've only ever seen them at Walmart.
So I was thinking if they had those big ones,
Like
you know,
the
like
number
the
10 cans?
number 10
I've
cans
never
of
seen
tuna
tuna
fish,
like that.
that would save me a ton of time. Just like plop, mix up the mayo.
Debbie says, here now for a few. You need to make the butter mayo with tarragon.
I know.
Dennis says, who else lives in Taylorsville? Do I have a replay? I'm hoping to make that SodaStream conversion as well.
Yeah.
Now, how about egg emulsification in the creamy? Look at my waffle stick maker. Focus. Jen says I need to learn about this pudding. I've been missing out. So
Yeah, it's Maria Emmerich's. Oh yeah, do you want to pull it up?
yeah, so I'll just do Maria Emmerich egg pudding. There it is.
There we go.
So yeah, and she just posted on her Instagram.
Yeah, like 2 days ago.
Yeah, making it with, so it's 10 hard-boiled eggs, but instead of doing that, you can or scrambled eggs.
Yay!
She updated it. Nice. A can of coconut milk, or 14 ounces of unsweetened almond milk. So a half cup of Swerve confectioners. That's important because otherwise, if you use the granulated erythritol,
Then
it doesn't
grainy,
dissolve.
and it's not good.
Quarter cup of unsweetened cocoa powder, or you can use a serving of Keto Chow. 2 teaspoons of vanilla, a teaspoon of ground cinnamon, which I don't use, and 1/8 of a teaspoon of Redmond.
Yeah.
So there you go. And I was sharing.
job.
Let's see. I know. Sarah says I licked a penny and liked it to the tune of Katy Perry's. Yeah. Lori says, good morning. Caramel macchiato in my coffee today. Debbie says I use daily minerals in my coffee. It isn't bitter at all.
Nice.
Kimberly says, is it safe to keep my Keto Chow electrolytes in the glove box of my car? Yes. I keep forgetting them at home, or will the heat of Florida degrade them? So the minerals will not degrade unless you hit several thousand
The bottle
degrees.
could. And just so you know, it does get like a little bit of like
Sometimes, yeah.
minerally. It's salt around the outsides. So like
And
you
it's
can't
fine.
see it right here. You can't see it. It's too small.
Yeah, that one hasn't.
It has a little bit right there.
Okay.
But so if you do store it in your car and it's like this, then you could get some like right here.
Yeah, just make sure it's
in
very
the bottom
tightly
of the
closed.
glove box.
The little bottles like this, those are really nice because they don't leak.
Yeah,
because
because they have that little top thing. This top, not a top in that one.
Nope. Anyway, Jen says I will, but I will do Keto Chow in my coffee. Never thought about it. I'll put it in my water. There you go. Let's see. Heidi says the drops in coffee is amazing. Removes all bitterness. Love my drops.
One thing to remember about the drops is they're more dense than water. Is that the right word? I always say it wrong.
They are more dense, and so
And
they will
so they will
settle.
go to the bottom. And so
need
if
to
you
just
don't
shake
want
it
to
up.
have a ton of salt at the bottom of your drink, just kind of stir it every once in a while. Just something to keep in mind.
Maitreya says after Bronson posted it to the 2KK group, I've been carbonating a packet of Element. It's been really enjoyable.
Nice, that's awesome.
Tony says I was gifted the SodaStream because of my love for sparkling water, and I literally did not open it for a year. All this talk about SodaStreams. How many
Guess what you're doing today?
Becca says, while I've been sick,
hope you
all I've
make
been
it in
able
your
to eat
kitchen
is
so
Keto
cute.
Chow mug cakes.
Wow.
I need to try adding the egg white powder to it to
Oh,
up the
that's a
protein.
good idea. Plus, it would add a lot of fluff to it too, probably. Tell us how it goes. if you do
Dorothy
that.
says
I'm sorry
restaurant
to say.
supplies may have large cans of tuna.
Oh. I try not to go to restaurant supplies
Yep.
because I don't need more stuff.
Becca says butter mayo with the tarragon. Please say more. So Joe and Rachel talked about it in their video. It was, we got into town in Florida and I said, hey Joe, can you bring some of the butter mayo? And so he made it and he added, I think it was a quarter
teaspoon.
Mm-hmm. I could be wrong.
Because when you put it in the fridge, then it has butter in it, so it hardens up like butter. But they wanted it to be more of a mayo consistency.
It looked like, I don't even, like, it wasn't like, it looked like pudding would be the
It looked
best.
like pudding.
Yeah.
But it had, like, you could cut it with a knife, whereas if we put butter in the fridge, like, you wouldn't be able to cut through it. So the tarragon really did help.
It gave it a great consistency.
Yeah,
So.
and I just haven't made it. But I have been making homemade mayo, so that's...
Sarah says the best tuna is natural catch. I hide it from my hubby. Tanya says, question, I don't know of any problem with dairy, but I have a problem with Keto Chow bloating. Any thoughts on that? I'm not sure.
It could be that you have a problem with dairy and you just don't know it.
That's true. Are you using butter or heavy cream? Try butter.
Yep, try butter.
Yep.
And you can also try a little bit of gelatin. I know sometimes people have tried gelatin and it seems to help with some of that, like, tummy problems.
Debbie wants to know, does egg pudding need the sweetener if you're using Keto Chow? You can, or try it without. Worst case scenario, you have to add it. I know when Joe and Rachel have been making it, because they're doing beef, butter, bacon, and eggs with Keto Chow, then they've been making it without a sweetener and just using the
sweetener that's already in
the Keto Chow.
Yeah.
But I don't know if they've been using the coconut milk or not. That's actually, I'm not sure.
I didn't even know they were.
Sarah says, wait, tarragon in the mayo? Yeah. Then it says, I suppose mixing cheap cans of sardines into that might be like my liver pate amendment to hamburger.
Yes, that's a good idea.
Maya says, Miriam, that tuna salad dance was awesome. That's Tic Tac gold right there. Danny wants to know, where can I find the recipe for the butter mayo with tarragon? It's just, I think it's just Joe's
butter mayo recipe, and he just added a quarter teaspoon.
I think.
Yeah, that's true. I think.
I would actually, let's see, tomorrow they'll be doing their live stream, so I would hit them up for that. Or you can email them and say, hey, you should make a video.
Oh, and then they'll be like, I don't want to make another.
Make a short form video, because I've been telling Joe he needs to make short form videos of like them making their coffee, them making the other stuff. Anyway, Maya says, where's Lynette this morning? She was on earlier.
Yeah, she's
Jonna
been
says,
working real
I
hard
had electrolytes in
lately.
one of my Simple Water flasks. Didn't let it go to the rim. It cemented it closed.
Whoa.
Wow, that's weird. Shauna says, I think we made the pudding using egg white protein. Add water to the egg white protein and scramble. You might be able to. I don't know. It's not going to have the same consistency, so I have no idea.
Yeah, we haven't tried that, but it would be fun to experiment some more.
Maitreya says, I also like adding daily minerals to sparkling water. Gives it that San Pellegrino taste.
Yeah, I love
Joe has
San
been doing that too.
That's my favorite.
Crystal says, good morning. Or sorry, good morning.
Good morning.
Becca says, I have bloating problems with Keto Chow as a shake, but it's not when I cook with it.
Yep, there you go. Thank you
Crystal
for letting us
says,
know.
my subscription is coming on Friday. Love all the flavors.
Yay.
All right. Well, we are going to take off.
Oh, wait, I forgot.
What?
Chronometer. Holly wanted me to mention that we have at least half of the recipes into Chronometer. So if you want to friend Keto Chow and use the Chronometer app,
What's the address?
it's hello@ketochow.net.
Okay.
So we are going to do a blog post about it and when we get all the recipes in there, but I can't tell you how excited I am to just be able to put it in. I'm like, oh, the title of my recipe? Yeah, all the ingredients are there? That's right.
Dalva
I'm
wants to know if there are
successful.
any hotel discounts for Keto Salt Lake. Not yet.
We're still working on it. We've been contacting them. It's taken a minute.
Yep.
So.
Turns out it takes a lot of time and effort to put together a conference when you're also running a business.
Weird.
So, anyway, okay. Anything else you wanted to say about Chronometer? So you just send a friend request to hello@ketochow.net.
And then we'll accept the friend request, and then you can have access to all of our recipes.
Okay. Cool. Well,